All right. Good morning, Facebook. Happy Wednesday. You got Rachel here and you've got Deb Harkness. We're back for another travel talk. It's a snowy Wednesday morning here, but we are thinking about summer. We're going to visit about Deb's Footloose, Minnesota summer fun adventure trip that will be going out for Northland Travel June 14th through the 16th of 2022. So, we're thinking of some summer fun, a couple days of roaming around up in Minnesota. Deb's going to tell you all about it here in just a minute. Any questions that come up during the travel talk, feel free to reach out to our office. I'll put the number up below while Deb is talking. And you can check our website. You can see the sheet there, and you can go ahead and download that. And we'd love to have you. So I will get out of the way, and I'll let Deb take over and tell you about this awesome trip.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Nice to see all of you. As Rachel said, I'm going to be doing Footloose, Minnesota Summer Fun, June 14th to the 16th. It's just a 3-day short little adventure to get you away from home and get you up into this great state of Minnesota up here. I've been living up here now for about the past 4 or 5 years, and I love it. And so I like to share some of the area with some of you folks. And how I got the name Footloose, or come up with the name Footloose, Minnesota Summer Fun, is that the first night that we're up there, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a minute, we're going to go to the production Footloose at the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. I'm sure most of you remember back in the 80s, I think it was, that the movie Footloose came out, fast-paced, fun movie. Well, they've done a musical, Chanhassen, and their excellent staff have put a production together, and I think it's going to be a really fun one to see. So that's how I come up with this name. So to get back to some of the details of the trip, we'll pick you up in your normal home pickup spots on the first day, which is Tuesday, June 14th. And we're going to head up north into Minnesota, and our first stop is going to be up in Owatonna. In Owatonna, they've got this really unique, fun place there. It's not fun place, but it's a really neat place. It's the Minnesota State Public School Orphanage Museum. It's a one of a kind. And back in the day, and this was opened between 1886 and 1945. And back in the day, these kids that were put in there were referred to as state schoolers. And over 10,000 of them altogether over those several years were orphans that were put in there. And this was a super special school. It was the third largest of its kind in the nation. And we will have a guided tour of this, what is now turned into a museum, that's going to eat at your heart. It's going to give you first a feeling of sadness, but a feeling of how fortunate they were to have such a special place to put these children into. And it's just one of those really unique museums, just different than any other normal museum. So I think you'll enjoy that. Then we're going to leave there, and then we're going to travel on up to Minneapolis, St. Paul, get you checked into a hotel there, just down the street from the Chanhassen Dinner Theater. And then that night, we are going to take you to, like I said, to the Footloose production there at Chanhassen. They have excellent actors and actresses there that do a fantastic job, in addition to a really good meal that will be served. So that should be fun. Then on the second day, Wednesday, June 15th, we're going to leave the Twin Cities, and we're going to head over towards the river, and we're going to come down a little bit down to Stillwater, Minnesota. And this is a river town. And you're going to notice the uniqueness and the charm and the beauty of this little town, especially in the summertime. It's really neat. It sits right on the banks of the St. Croix River. And we're going to first off take a historic trolley tour there of the city. This city is built like all other river towns on the hillside there, and they've got some really neat, unique mansions that sit up on the hillside there, and beautiful, beautiful historic homes. So you're going to learn about those. And then after we get done with that, we're going to do a 2-hour luncheon riverboat cruise right on the St. Croix River there. Again, this is another fun thing in the middle of June. This should be a really fun time and nice time to do this. So So we'll get done with that, and then we're gonna get back on the bus and head just a little further south down to Red Wing, Minnesota. And Red Wing is another great river town, and it's got a couple unique things there in that city as well. And one of the things that put Red Wing on the map back in the day was the Red Wing pottery. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that, and probably most of you have some of it. And that's no longer, the actual factory is no longer in existence, of course, but they have turned it into a museum. And it's a really nice museum there. And you'll get to go in there and we'll tour that, where you'll get to see over 6,000 vintage pieces of pottery and other artwork that, were made there once upon a time. Then after we leave there, we're going to stay in Red Wing for just a little bit. Again, and another thing that's put Red Wing on the map, in addition to the pottery, is the famous Red Wing shoe stores that you see all over the country. This is where they got their start, was right there in Red Wing, Minnesota. And so they've got a real unique shoe store there, Red Wing shoe store there. It's got your normal 10,000 pair of shoes in there that you can buy. But what's so cool is that when you walk in the front door, there's this super big boot that's going to hit you right in the face as you walk in. And it's the world's largest boot that was ever actually made. They claim it to be a size 638.5D boot, if you can imagine that. And this boot is 20 feet tall. It's really a neat thing to see. Something cool. If you're in Red Wing, it's something you don't want to miss. Just stop and see that, if nothing else. So we're going to do that as well. And then we'll leave Red Wing. And after we leave Red Wing, we're going to travel a little further down the river road down to Lake City. And that's where we're going to be staying for this second night, is in Lake City, Minnesota. Another beautiful little river town there that sits right on the river. And Lake Pepin, which is an inlet of the Mississippi River, is where Lake City sits on. And we're going to be staying in a hotel right across the street from Lake Pepin. So not only will you get the view of Lake Pepin, but they've got a neat boardwalk. All you got to do is walk across the street and you're on this boardwalk or cement walk, whatever it is. I don't remember. But anyway, it's a really neat walkway that you'll get to walk along the lake. So it'll be a good way to end the day. They're taking a nice stroll along the lake. Then we'll get up the next morning and we're going to head further south yet. We're going to go down to Wabasha. And Wabasha, Minnesota is the home of the National Eagle Center. And this educational interpretive center is a landmark destination that I think everybody, if you haven't been there before, you're really going to enjoy. They have bald eagles in there that they have taken in, that have been injured or whatever, and now they use them as exhibits, and they tell you all about them. We'll see some presentations on them from their staff, and you'll learn a lot about them. It's a really neat center, the way they've got it set up. And again, it sits right on the banks of the river there too. So, and then after we leave there, we're just going to travel a little further south out of Wabasha, and we're going to go down to the Lark Toy Store. And this by far means is no ordinary toy store. You're not going to go in there and find computer games in this toy store, like anything in this day and age. You're going to go in there and you're going to find what you and I grew up on: marbles and tea sets and tops and jack-in-the-boxes and all those kind of things. This is kind of a toy store museum combination. I mean, you can buy any of this kind of stuff that you want there. They're all brand new things and up to date, but it's just your old-fashioned toys. And it's really neat and cool to see it all. And then also what makes this toy store so unique is that they have this huge carousel merry-go-round in there that's all been hand built, and it has some of the it's one of the world's most unique carousels. Every animal on this carousel is made out of hand-carved Minnesota basswood, and they're all designed in exquisite detail, and they're all rideable, for a mere $2, why you can pay to get on it and pretend you're a kid again and go for a ride on the merry-go-round. So I think you'll enjoy that. It's just fun. And by then it's going to be getting late in the afternoon, and so then we'll just head on down the river a little more and get you back into Iowa and get you back home that evening. So it's going to be a fun-filled 3 days. It is priced at $674 per person, double occupancy, $806 per person, single occupancy, and $624 per person, triple or quad. And if you get booked here within the next couple of weeks, if you book before February 1st, you're going to have a $25 off per person early booking discount. So that would bring the double occupancy down to right about $650, $649 per person, double occupancy. So that's a good deal. Our departure cities on this are going to be Ames, Ankeny, Fort Dodge, Williams, and Waterloo. One thing I did want to mention, and this is going to be starting effective right now for all of my tours that I will be doing in 2022, due to all this COVID, and I know everybody's so sick of hearing COVID, but due to all this COVID that's up and going yet, all of my tours, we are going to be requesting that you, including this tour here, that you bring with you, show proof of vaccination, of your COVID vaccination, plus be up to date on your boosters. This is just to ensure everybody's safety that you're traveling with on the bus. And also, right now with everything being in such high flare up again, a lot of our vendors are starting to require, not starting, but are requiring that people be vaccinated before they even let you in. So we've just as of January 1st put this into place on all of my tours. So that will be, until further notice, that will be the new normal. So I think that about does it for me, Rachel. I don't know what else I have to say.
So there you have it. You have a 3-day adventure with Deb in June. About all of our group tours, and you, Deb, do an excellent job at this. I mean, it's 3 days. It's not 2 days of travel and 1 day of fun.
Right.
I mean, she's got stuff, awesome adventures happening on the way there, while you're there, and on the way back. I mean, just listening to it, you're doing things up until drop off point, it sounds
Right.
like. So
yeah, we've got a whole lot on this agenda, but I wanted, you don't have that far to travel, a couple hour. I mean, depending on where we pick you up, but I mean, say you get picked up in Waterloo, I mean, you're only talking probably 2 hours north up to Owatonna, I mean, so, and Owatonna to the cities is, probably another hour and a half. So there's very little travel distance. We're not going to be that far from home, and yet we're going to get to see and do a whole lot of fun things, summer fun things.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun little trip coming up. And any questions, you can see the number down below. You can call Rhonda at 877-694-8687. You can check out the website, northlandtravel.com. We always encourage you to go there and see what trips we are signing up for. You can always check out our Facebook page as well. We try and put lots of up-to-date things on there as well. So thank you so much for today. And be looking for some other trips coming in 2022. Thank you, Deb, for taking the time to tell us all about this trip. And everyone, I just want to say have a great day. And we will hopefully see you next week when we talk more about a different trip coming up. Go ahead, Deb.
Yep, I was just going to say thank you, everybody. And if anybody has any questions on this, please feel free to either contact myself or Rhonda, and we'd be more than happy to tell you, answer any questions.
Perfect. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. See you next time.